It's the brother Azara Yah back once more with the daily lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the tabernacle of David, the hopeful elect. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and uplifting through the spirit. What I have here is two Zero Hedge articles I would like to get into, touching on the current affairs of the planet Earth, mainly what's going on in the Middle East. So, of course, we know Biden was supposed to take a trip to Jordan, I guess, to find out what's going on with the hostages and the American citizens that are over there. But things have not gone according to plan. Going into this article, it says here, Arab leaders, which we know the Arabs, all right, that's Ishmael, refuse to meet Biden. Jordan trip canceled. Protesters surround U.S. embassy in Beirut. As expected, the fallout from the Al Ali Baptist Hospital bombing has been swift, with a domino effect on negative consequences both for diplomacy and on the quote-unquote Arab street. The situation outside the U.S. embassy in Beirut is deteriorating tonight, with reports of riot police and tear gas being deployed against large crowds waving Hezbollah flags. And this is one of the things that you will see in the last days. It says in 2nd Ezra's, the 9th chapter, that when you begin to see uproars of the people in the world, 2nd Ezra's 15, seditions among men, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, but the course of their actions shall stand in their power. This is what you're seeing, rebellions all over the earth. And especially now that the leader of the so-called free world, Babylon the Great, Joe Biden, he trying to go over to Jordan and pretty much press the issue. But the Arabs, they ain't having it. So you got people over there protesting, right outside the U.S. embassy. So that lets you know what time we in. This would have never happened 50 years ago. If it was announced that the United States president was coming to Jordan 50 years ago, everybody would have been in order. It wouldn't have been no protests and uprising, man. But it's how you know that these nations are pretty much fed up with Esau. They done with E, man, and they done with America. Because America, they want to play world police, be in everybody's business, be all over the place. They tell you in Habakkuk 2 and 5 that he keepeth not at home. So this man is everywhere. Places in which he's not supposed to be, having influence where he should not. And we're at a time now where people are just done. They're worn out. They're fed up. The Lord has a spirit in the earth that is against E, that is against America, Babylon the Great. Reading on, but more importantly, and just as Air Force One is departing Washington for Israel, the White House has canceled the entire leg of Biden's trip to Jordan. The confirmation was issued within the same hour that Arab leaders announced they were unwilling to meet with Biden, given the U.S. is Israel's biggest funder and supporter. Biden issued a statement, quote, deepest condolences to victims of Gaza, quote, hospital explosion, according to the White House official statement. Now, the Arabs, they're not even willing to meet with this man. They're not even willing to sit down at the table and hold a discussion. And why is that? It says in Obadiah 1 and 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. All right, so E, which is well known in the Arab world, they actually call Esau the great Satan. Okay, the so-called white man is actually known as the great Satan in the Arab world. So these Iranians and these, Saudi Arabians, they already know what's going on. They're pretty much tired of the West's lies and propaganda. They tired of it, man. This is why they don't even want to sit down and talk with Joe Biden. They don't want to sit down and talk with America. For what? All they're going to do is try to, use that double speak, you know what I'm saying? Use that forked tongue, try to calm down the situation so they can gather more time to get themselves together. But now, Ishmael is on to E, man. You know what I'm saying? And, hey, the scriptures tell you that Ishmael is like a wild man. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? Hey, it tells you that Esau is greatly despised among the heathen. Let me get this also in Psalms 5 and 6. It says, thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. Now, leasing, that goes into speaking lies, deceit. All right. The Lord will abhor, okay, that goes into hate, the bloody and deceitful man. Which, who is that bloody and deceitful man? Who is the man that speaks leasing, that speaks lies and deceit? Well, it's none other than the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. So the Lord said that he's going to destroy them that speak leasing. And how is the Lord going to destroy Esau? Well, he's going to use the other nations to do it. Okay, it even tells you in Revelation 17 and 16 that even America's own allies are at some point going to turn on America and burn her with fire. So these things are coming down the pipeline. Okay, we are in an unprecedented time there's never been seen before. Okay, Jeremiah 50 and 36, a sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. So you see a sword. Okay, a sword is within the earth, man. And right now, the sword is with all nations, because the great equalizer, which is the ICBM nuclear missile, all these major nations have them now. So Esau can't just go around the earth and just bully people and threaten them with the threat of pretty much annihilation. They can't do that no more, because now all these nations have this technology. So if Esau shoots up north, then it's pretty much assured mutual destruction. But of course, we know that these elites, they got their underground bunkers in which they're gonna survive a nuclear holocaust, but they're gonna be saved to be the first fruits of slavery in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Because when Yahweh Shah come back with the hosts of heaven, we gonna go down there, Lord willing. We be those men. Hey, we gonna go down into them bunkers, and we gonna dig them devils out, and they gonna be the first fruits of slavery in the kingdom, man. Okay, but yeah, a great sword is upon the mighty men of Babylon the Great. You see, so the Arabs, man, they you know what I'm saying, they don't want to hear it, because all they, you know what I'm saying, they already know all Esau gonna do is just lie to them, speak lies and deceit, which is what he's always done. This man is the devil. So it's clear to this point this man can't be trusted. And I did a video yesterday in which the Iranians, they was burning the American flag and screaming death to America, which this is nothing new. I mean, they've been doing that, but it's even more profound now because of the situation with Israel and Hamas. You know what I'm saying? It's even more profound now because, Iran has already told America that if they launch an offensive into Gaza, that they gonna get involved. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, Iran already has troops lined up on the Gaza border ready for action. So like I said, man, we are in an unprecedented time. Okay, a time that's never been seen before and will never be seen again. And this is only the beginning of these things. Reading on, it says, after consulting with Jordan King Abdullah II, and in light of the days of mourning announced by Palestinian Authority President Abbas, President Biden will postpone his travel to Jordan and the planned meeting with these two leaders in Egypt, President Sisi. The president sent his deepest condolences for the innocent lives lost in the hospital explosion in Gaza, and wished a speedy recovery to the wounded. Let me see. Let's check this out. So in Beirut, Lebanon, that's everybody heading towards the U.S. Embassy. So pretty much what you can see is happening is that the world is done with America. All right, the world is just, there's a spirit in the earth, which is really all from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for all nations to be against America. Alleged footage circulating showing a U.S. embassy in Beirut being stormed by a huge crowd of angered Lebanese following the horrific Israeli strike on a hospital in Gaza. And see, the thing is, the narrative that they're giving to you in the West of this whole conflict is really all BS, because they trying to paint Israel as the victims. They trying to paint them as if they've done nothing wrong. Number one, they don't even belong over there. The Palestinians, which really, they, you know what I'm saying, they go back to the Philistines. They don't belong over there neither. But they was there first. They just came in with the Balfour Declaration and you know what I'm saying, just seized the land, killed off hundreds of thousands, okay, millions of Palestinians, man, displaced them out the land. The history is there. And that leads me to this scripture here. Let me bring this out. Isaiah 33:1. It says, "Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee." Now let's look into that word treacherous. Okay. This is the definition for treacherous. It says, guilty of or characterized by betrayal of confidence or trust, characterized by unforeseen or hidden hazards, dangerous or deceptive, like a traitor, involving treachery, violating allegiance or faith pledged, traitorous to the state or sovereign, perfidious in private life, betraying a trust, faithless, and that all goes into Esau. Okay, Esau, he has betrayed many nations. What did he do when he came over to the Americas and he was dealing with the so-called North American Indian? He said, "Oh, I just want a little bit of land. I want to talk about Jesus Christ. I want to, you know, just grow some crops here." But then what did he end up doing? He made over 300 something treaties with the North American Indians, and he kept not one. You see, he kept not one, man. And he moved them onto reservations still to this day where they live in the worst conditions possible. You know, Esau gave them the worst parts of the land while he took the best. Although it was prophesied in Genesis 27:39-40 that he would have the fatness of the earth, the best places. So we know that it's, you know, all prophetic. But at the end of the day, wrong is wrong. He did the same thing to the Palestinians during, what was that? World War One, where, you know what I'm saying, England and you know, England's allies, they pretty much promised the Palestinians that they would set them up with their own nation in that land. But what did they do? They betrayed the Palestinians and they moved in the small hats. And still, you know, ever since they established the nation of Israel in 1948, it's been war because of what? Treacherous dealings. Going back to Isaiah 33, when thou shalt cease to spoil. So when Esau would stop spoiling, he stopped, you know, making war and taking lands. And he don't need to do that no more because he's pretty much set up. You know, he got America, he got Europe. He's had his you know, colonial empire, which now is pretty much broken down. So now he's at a point where he's ceasing to spoil. Now he's pretty much, you know, just you know, enjoying what he already has. You know, still looking to expand, but not as much as he was after the Renaissance. Thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. So in the land of Israel, when they ceased to deal treacherously with the Palestinians, well, really they never ceased, but there was a point where it was like, okay, the Palestinians, they can have the Gaza Strip and we gonna have the rest of the land. Now, you know, Hamas then rose up, the Palestinians, you know, being backed by Iran and Russia. You know, now they've launched an offensive, which Hamas, that was created by the CIA. You know what I'm saying? All this was done so that the Israelis, they could have a casus belli, which is a good reason for war, to go against the Palestinians and ethnically cleanse the land so that they can take also the Gaza Strip away. This is all what's going on. But the point is, you know, when Esau thinks he's at a point of peace where he's conquered all that he can conquer and he can sit back, nah, man, people gonna rise up against you because you was the one that went all around the planet Earth and done it to all nations, man. Okay, not only have you done it to the true Israelites, but you've done it to all nations. All right, you've done it to Moab, you've done it to Ishmael, you've done it to Ammon. This man dropped 2 atomic bombs on the Japanese. And mind you, all of these nations, it tells you in what is that, Psalm 64, I believe, where it tells you about all the nations that were confederate against Israel to take us down. Okay, Ishmael was once joined unto Esau. Okay, all these nations were confederate. The Ishmaelites, the Hagarenes, Moab, you know what I'm saying? All these nations were confederate with Esau to take us down and, cease us from being a people. But now they turning against him. Why? Because he is dealt treacherously, man. Okay, he is not trustworthy. He's the devil. Okay, going back to Obadiah 1 and 2, I've made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. So this man is greatly despised all around the planet Earth. Of course, the Israelites, we are despised as well, but for us, it's more so of a jealousy. You know what I'm saying? Because the other nations, they want to be us. But for Esau, this man is just the devil. You know what I'm saying? All the ill works that he's done throughout his rulership, this man just can't have enough. Habakkuk 2 and 5. He cannot be satisfied. So that's why he's the most hated. You know what I'm saying? Because this man is literally the physical counterpart of the spiritual being Satan. And you can see by his works. Yeah, so they rising up at the embassy. Protests going on. So yeah, man. Hey, Israel, Salakia. Yeah, well, yeah. Israel, they ain't got that much long left, but Esau, period, they ain't got that much long left, man. They time is up. We at the end of this thing. You see? Let me bring this out as well. Isaiah 13 and 17, it says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Now, when it says Medes here, that's going into the Russians, okay? Because the Russians occupy the ancient land that the Medes dwelt in, because you had two separate sets of Medes. You had the Medes that was in that area of Iran, Iraq. In ancient times, they was called the Persians, you know what I'm saying? But they was up in that area of Russia as well. But of course, Edomites dwell in that land today. But yeah, Russia is stirred up. Iran is stirred up. Moab is stirred up. Ammon is stirred up. All these nations stirred up, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So these nations, they're not going to be able to be bought off. They're not going to be able to be talked down. They want one thing, and that's the blood of Americans. Okay, that's the blood of E. That's what they want. And they're not going to stop until they accomplish that. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, this is talking about America. The beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their foes. So they want the complete destruction of America. And that's why now they burning the American flag and chanting death to America. That's what they want. So no wonder they don't want to speak with Biden. You know what I'm saying? No wonder they don't want to speak with any of these American diplomats coming over there, man. They don't want to hear it. They only want one thing, and that's war. Okay, they want to wipe America off the map, and according to prophecy, they will. Let's get this last article. We can close out. Don't want to make this long. Deaths of despair afflict more cohorts than Case Deaton originally found. At the risk of over hoisting from an important piece of analysis, below are some of the key sections from Anusar Faruqi, who writes as a policy tensor on the extent of the death of despair catastrophe. So in these last days, you having a lot of people that are dying from languishing, okay? Which languishing goes into wasting away, deteriorating, meaning an untimely death. All right, having a disease of the mind, and that's because the world is literally ending. So the reality that these people have known for their entire lives is, is not their way anymore. All the things that they love to do is slipping away. You know what I'm saying? People are more wicked than ever. You can't trust nobody. So yeah, there is an epidemic of deaths of despair. Um, it is important because he demonstrates that the rising death rates over time extend even into those with some college education. So even those with college education, right, higher degrees of learning, even these people are not exempt from deaths of despair. And as a matter of fact, those people are some of the most affected. You see, because they think that, oh yeah, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get a bachelor's, master's, get my PhD. I'm going to be making, 500,000 a year. Being a white collar worker, and what I'm saying, and then now the world is ending, and these things have increased dramatically since the pandemic, and it hasn't recovered since. Reading on, it says Faruqi got in an argument with Matt Iglesias on Twitter over the body of work by Ann Case and Angus Deaton on so-called deaths of despair, in which they found what they called an AIDS level surge of mortality among less educated whites in middle age. You see that? So they speaking about Edomites, okay? They speaking about Esau. But there is an unprecedented rise in mortality. Now we know this also goes into the Capri Sun, all right? Because many people took that Capri Sun, and a lot of people are perishing from that as well. But overall, people are just unhappy. You know what I'm saying? People are just unhappy to the point where they just want to end it all. Suicide. Listen, the suicide rate right now is going crazy. Let me see. The big culprits are linked to despair, namely poisoning, which is an opioid abuse first, and alcoholism second, and suicides. See? Case and Deaton dug into underlying statistics and found distressingly high levels of pain and impaired health in this age group. So pain and physical impairment may well be bigger culprits than economic distress. So you got people bugged out on all type of drugs, people going through economic distress, family troubles, not feeling love, not feeling like they cared about. Yeah, man, look, all of that will lead you to take your own life. And, this is what Esau gets into, man. The scriptures tell you Esau accomplished a diligent search. You know what I'm saying? He goes into everything. It ain't there's nothing that can be hidden from Esau, man. So yeah, man, it's telling you basically, check this out. All cause mortality have a very strong signal, but the evidence for American working class despair is not confined to mortality. Prime age labor force participation contains the same signal of despair. For out of every 9 Americans with only a high school diploma are not even looking for a job. It's not like high school graduates can survive on one paycheck. These are obviously discouraged workers in despair. Family reproduction, perhaps the most important factor in human well-being, following the 60s revolution in behavioral norms, the rate of family reproduction stabilized for college graduates by the 1990s. But it has continued to fall for high school graduates. Okay? The truth is that the American working class despair is such a robust, large-scale pattern that one can recover the signal from practically anything we care to measure. Mortality, morbidity, that's another thing, man. All these people, too much food, man. Overweight, hundreds of pounds overweight, and just don't care. A lot of people is dying behind that. BMI, labor force participation, marriage rates, child out of wedlock rates. Okay, and that's crazy amongst our people. The amount of children that Jake be having out of wedlock is crazy. You name it. So yeah, man. What you can take from this is pretty much that America is circling the drain. Okay, this place is turning into a third world country. It ain't that much long left. You know, you got war coming. Okay, you have America about to be invaded. Okay, you got a lot of sleeper cells in America that are about to rise up when the time is right and do what they got to do. You know, collapse this place from within, and then the outside troops are gonna come in and finish this place off, man. So yo, America is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this lesson here. Hopefully, it was edifying through the Rakah Kadash. Until next time, Shalom unto the elect, Kum Yasha'ala DTA, and the Bible Ball. Shalom.